There's a myth in the gun world that a revolver will never fail you, but run that trusty wheel gun hard, push it past 50,000 rounds, and you'll discover a hard truth. That six-shot you've bet your life on can start to bind up, light strike, or fail completely when you need it most. The reality is, even the most overbuilt revolvers are finely tuned machines, and very few of them will ever reach that legendary 100,000-round benchmark without a disciplined maintenance routine. Today, I'm going to walk you through the 6 habits that I've personally used to keep my revolvers running like a Swiss watch for a lifetime of shooting. And make sure you stick around for the end, because I've got a bonus technique that most gunsmiths keep to themselves. This last tip will completely change the way you care for your wheel gun, I guarantee it. Habit number 6. Learn to diagnose your cylinder. Timing. Timing is the very soul of a revolver. If that cylinder isn't locking up in perfect concentric alignment with the barrel every single time you press the trigger, you are on a fast track to disaster. You're talking about shaved lead, spitting gases, and in a worst-case scenario, a catastrophic failure. Most shooters never even think about their revolver's timing until it's already too late. Here's my routine. Every 5,000 rounds, without fail, unload the firearm. Then, with the cylinder closed, cock the hammer slowly and watch the bolt drop into the cylinder notch. It should engage with a crisp, audible click and lock that cylinder down with zero rotational play. If there is any slop, any wiggle, or any hesitation, your timing is starting to go. And for the love of God, never slam the cylinder shut like you see in the movies. That is the fastest way to bend the yoke, or crane, and slowly destroy your revolver's timing. Always close the cylinder gently. This one habit alone will prevent 80% of the timing issues that gunsmiths see on high-mileage revolvers. Habit number 5. Feed it a diet of high-quality ammunition. Nothing will destroy a revolver faster than a steady diet of cheap, junky ammunition. I learned this lesson the hard way many years ago. After putting 10,000 rounds of questionable bargain bin reloads through a new revolver, I ended up with a scored cylinder, a flame-cut top strap, and an extractor that was barely functional. Low-cost ammo isn't just a reliability risk. It can be actively harmful to your firearm. You're dealing with inconsistent powder charges, which can batter the frame, and soft, unjacketed lead bullets that will foul your rifling and gum up the action. Now, I only run ammunition from trusted, reputable manufacturers. Yes, it costs a little more, but it is cheap insurance against a very expensive gunsmith bill down the road. When I am shooting in high volume, I hand-load my own ammunition. This gives me total control over every component and every variable. With my meticulously crafted handloads, I have pushed my own Smith & Wesson Model 686 past 80,000 rounds, and it is still running as smooth as the day I bought it. Habit number 4. Clean it like your life depends on it. There is a reason the old masters of gunsmithing were so obsessive about cleaning. Every single round you fire deposits a layer of corrosive, abrasive grit inside your firearm. That residue, a mix of carbon and microscopic metal shavings, acts like a grinding paste on the finely fitted internal parts of your revolver. My post-range cleaning routine is non-negotiable, and it has saved me thousands of dollars in wear-related repairs. I start by scrubbing each chamber of the cylinder with a bronze brush and a good solvent. I pay special attention to the forcing cone, the point where the barrel meets the frame. This area takes the most abuse, and it's where erosion almost always begins. A critical note for those of you with aluminum-framed revolvers. Aluminum is much softer than steel. Any grit or carbon that gets trapped between the steel cylinder and the aluminum frame will cause the frame to wear out first. I wipe down every surface, scrub the barrel until the patches come out clean, and then I move on to lubrication. Habit number 3. Learn the art of proper lubrication. You would be amazed at how many shooters get this wrong. They either drown their revolver in oil or they run it completely dry. Both are a recipe for failure. Too much oil turns your firearm into a magnet for dirt, dust, and unburnt powder, creating a gritty sludge that will gum up the action. Too little, and you are grinding steel on steel, which is the fastest way to wear out your gun. My method is simple. 2 drops of a high-quality gun oil on each critical friction point. The most important areas are the yoke, the ejector rod, and the hammer and trigger pivots. I cycle the action a few times to work the oil into the surfaces, and then I wipe off every last bit of excess. And remember, your environment dictates your lubrication strategy. In a humid climate, I use synthetic oils that resist moisture. In a dusty environment, I run my guns with minimal lubrication. And in the cold, I switch to thinner oils that won't thicken up and slow down the action. Oil your revolver smart, not heavy, and it will run for a lifetime. Habit number 2. Keep your ammunition on a rotation cycle. This is a discipline that separates the casual shooter from the serious prepared citizen. Ammunition has a shelf life. Over time, powder can break down, and primers can lose their sensitivity. That's why I follow a strict first in, first out policy with all of my ammo. New boxes go to the back of the safe, old boxes come with me to the range. And even though a revolver doesn't use magazines, the same principle applies to your speed loaders and moon clips. I rotate the ammunition in my defensive speed loaders every single month. And never ever store your defensive ammunition in a hot car. Extreme temperature swings will ruin your ammo faster than anything else, leading to inconsistent pressures and potential misfires. I store all of my defensive ammunition in a climate-controlled space. It is one of the simplest things you can do to guarantee reliability. Habit number 1. Respect the mechanical limits of your gun. If you want your revolver to make it past that 100,000 round mark, you have to understand its mechanical limits. Every revolver has a breaking point. The ones that start to fall apart at 20,000 rounds are almost always the ones that have been run too hard, with a steady diet of hot, high-pressure loads. From my own detailed maintenance logs, I've seen that the bolt notches on a cylinder will begin to show wear somewhere between 60 and 80,000 rounds. That's why I inspect my revolvers with a magnifying glass after every few thousand rounds, looking for any signs of peening, end shake, or timing drift. For practice, I stick to standard pressure or mid-range loads that won't batter the frame. I save the hot plus P stuff for defensive use, and I pay close attention to the subtle signals the gun is giving me. A heavier trigger pull, a rough cylinder rotation, or a change in accuracy. Those are the early warning signs of wear, and I never ignore them. Know your steel, know your limits, and shoot smart. And now for the pro-level tip. The secret to a clean cylinder face. Here is the one maintenance secret that separates the masters from the amateurs: keeping your cylinder face immaculately clean. If you allow carbon to build up on the face of the cylinder, it will harden into a crust that can actually increase your cylinder gap over time and erode your forcing cone. That is the kind of slow, creeping wear that is incredibly expensive to fix. After every single range session, I clean the cylinder face with a small piece of a choreboy, 100% copper scrub pad. Not the copper-plated steel ones, the pure copper ones. I wrap a piece around a wooden dowel and gently work it across the surface. For truly stubborn carbon rings, I will let the cylinder face soak overnight in a 50-50 mix of hops No. 9 and Croyle oil. The next morning, that carbon just wipes away. Gunsmiths can charge up to $150 to reface a neglected cylinder. This simple habit will save you from all of that. So, which one of these habits surprised you the most? My guess is that most shooters never think about rotating their ammo or checking their cylinder timing. But these 6 techniques and that bonus tip are the reason I have been able to keep my revolvers running strong, well into the high 5- and 6-figure round counts. If this information helped you become a better, more responsible gun owner, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We have a lot more real-world, hard-won knowledge coming your way. Until next time, stay safe and take care of your tools.